What do people get wrong about me?
I should answer the question for her, maybe.
For example.
Oh, okay. That's a great question.
I was actually found on the streets, and so and spent a lot of time living on the streets. So I would say I'm kind of like hood to Hollywood, so I can fit into any social situation. But at my core, I do have a little bit of scrappiness and sass about me, I guess.
I believe when people first see me, what they get wrong with me is they think I'm meaner than I am, and I'm actually really goofy, silly kind of a guy. But I can be standoffish and defensive because, if you live life long enough, you go through enough experiences, you get your heart broken enough, or, if somebody tries you or whatever the case may be, you get a defense mechanism. So I would say that I've gotten harder over the years, but I do try to maintain that I am a kind, goofy, sort of a silly kind of a guy. But don't try me.
I would say you look mean. People think you're mean, but you're not. You're really nice.
I just have a look.
You got rest in peace. Can we say?
They don't think I'm that bright. You know what I mean? Because I have blonde and blue eyes. They figure, sensitive, sometimes, and I don't know. They don't think I'm bright. They're surprised that I'm bright. Let's put it that way. They're surprised because I don't look like I would be bright. You know what I mean? I look like a tarnished bimbo.
Maybe my age. People think I'm younger than my real age. And it always happens to me. So I get it as a compliment, and I don't know. I've been taking care of myself since I was very little, so I've been working a lot in that because I like to take care of myself. So, but a lot of people think I'm very young, more younger than my age.
Misconceptions, I think, just because of how I present. I think people have misconceptions about people in the LGBT community, and so people automatically assume that I'm promiscuous, and I'm not.
That's a great question. I would say, I wouldn't say wrong necessarily, but I think that people underestimate a lot of my talent, and just I have a variety of interests and gifts and skills that, one, I've put work into, time, but also just that have come naturally to me. And I think that when people look at me, they'll be like, okay, cute, and that's that. Or if I'm in a, acting environment, they may be like, oh, you're an actor. But I also work behind the scenes as production, people may look at me and be like, okay, you're short, but I'm actually very athletic. I used to be a gymnast for almost 10 years. So I think that, I think people kind of reduce my value when they see me.
When people size me up, it's either or they're all in. They either understand it or they don't. I'm one of those individuals, highly intelligent. Highly intelligent. That means my brain works differently. Most of the time I deal with simpletons, people that do not connect with my philosophies or my ideas. And for the most part, the believers understand. The non-believers, you just become a joke of their art. Whatever fragment of that they come out of their mouth, that's what I got to listen to, because they can't put the pieces together what I do for a living. I'm a creative.
I'm just kind of a lover of all people and all things, and so I think I come with such an open heart, an open mind, that I think it's kind of off-putting sometimes to people, and then they realize oh, this person's more relatable than I thought, because they may think certain things, they think that you have, they've put you in a box, and then they realize well, my box is open.
I don't even know how to fully answer that question. I mean, I've had a lot of friends that think that I'm money obsessed at different points in my life, and they're not entirely wrong. There have been points in my life where I was completely driven by making an extra dollar or two, and I would do pretty much anything for that extra money. But it was usually in the name of oh, I'm gonna go buy myself this freedom so that now I can do comedy all day or write the album of the century. There's always some kind of grandiose thing in the back of my head that I want to buy myself time for. And I've actually kind of done that a little bit in my own way recently. So I think now it's almost like the opposite. Now I feel like people see me as a little bit aimless. So for a while it was oh, you're maybe overly career focused, or you're a little lost there. And now it's been a little bit maybe it's time to start working again. I don't know.
I mean, and everybody is gonna, at the end of the day, grow old and die. Part of life. But I think it's good to look younger because I tried younger men.
I've had 3 heart attacks. I've been to the light twice. Those are 2 near-death experiences. And I have an aneurysm in my brain, so terminally ill, whatever you want to call it. So being on the edge, there is no withdrawal. There is no falling back for me. I keep it right on the edge every day. But what they get wrong most about me is they underestimate my ability to really meet their problems head on.
Well, I think Bianca sometimes looks a little bossy and a little bit rough. But in fact, she's really nice, and she has a really nice heart, and she has a really nice mother nature, and she really takes care of you. But at first she's like bam, 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 and yeah, she's so cute. Yeah, but that's good because everybody's a little bit afraid of her, but in the end I'm not afraid of so many people who saw you at first sight. But then there's coming like the mother figure out of her.
I'm very sensitive and I see all the things that are around me. I can even feel what's behind me, so I can always pick up cues. So they assume that I'm an extrovert, but I've always called myself the most introverted extrovert you'll ever meet because I gotta have my time alone.
I think that somebody might think that I might be a little bit ditzy or something, but I think it's just because I'm really, really excited to meet new people, and so I just get overly excited, and I think that might come across a little bit wrong, but yeah, I think it's that I'm a little bit dipsy and clueless, but I am not that at all. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
What do people get wrong about me? Nothing. I mean, I'm pretty open. Like, I'm cool with everybody.
Yeah, she's very talkative. She's very, you find it easier to communicate with people more.
Yeah, it takes me a little bit to get comfortable, but once I'm comfortable, it can be off of one conversation. I'm like, okay, we're cool. I've known you for years.
I think a lot of people would say Anne is like a shy girl, but in fact she's like the craziest girl. Especially when she's drunk. Then she's coming fully out.
Everybody gets crazy when he's drunk.
I love when people underestimate me because then I can show them. At the same time, it does become really frustrating because I feel like you have to work extra hard to prove yourself, and I don't work to prove myself to anybody, but at the end of the day, for certain things, you have to work extra hard to prove yourself. So I think it's a mixture, and it's really how you look at it. Me personally, I don't see anything as like a disparity or like I'm blanking on my word, but I see everything as strength and lessons and stuff like that. So for me, it's more of a strength than anything because I'm just like, okay, you can think you can think what you think, but I'm gonna show you different. Yeah, so I think more than anything, I do see it as a strength. Yeah.
But I also, the dichotomy is I also like people. Like I said, I like having people over, entertaining, being out. I love a party. I'll never say no to a social event. People would always think, I heard it all the way back in high school that I was stuck up or whatever. I was in my own mind. I was just using my imagination, daydreaming and stuff. And then I heard that, when I was young. And it used to bother me like so many things. But, after a while you start not listening to because everyone's got an opinion, right? Everyone's got, what?
Sometimes, because I'm working in a bar and I'm always not smiling because I don't know why, but I think people think that I'm a little, how do you say it, cold. Yeah, but if people get to know me, they know I'm a very, very open person and I really love meet people. And I think maybe they think I'm a little, I don't know the English word now, arrogant, maybe, because I don't do eye contact with people that much if I don't know the people. Maybe that's it.
Probably that I am silent. I get a lot of the fact that you're quiet, so you don't really have much of a personality. I just like to observe rather than, lash out at people and get upset with them.